Hello, class. This is Scott Caruso from MDF2 1304 here with my week 4 reflection video. Hope everyone else had a good week 4 as well. There was a bit more work involved this week than in previous weeks to kind of get everything up and running and functional. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it was any harder than the past few weeks have been. If you recall from the past few videos, I've talked a bit about how I felt like I'm really starting to come into my own, and the projects are coming easier to me. I'm not getting stumped and hung up on things as much as I used to, and that was again the case this week. In that, although there was more work to do to create a custom header for my table view and a custom cell for my table view and 3 levels or 2 levels of subviews below the main view. It was more just a matter of taking the time to make everything work than it was a matter of me getting stumped and having to bang my head against the wall, and that's what took up the most of my time. Like that's the way things used to be. So in that regard, because it was more just a matter of a sheer volume of work that needed to be done and not really getting stumped on any one thing, I still feel like this week was another tremendous success, and it's just further proof that my coding is really coming a long way. We'll take a look at what I built and some areas that I think I can improve upon, but all in all, another really successful week. Alright, so here is my code. You'll find that there's nothing particularly fancy in here about it. It's a normal table view, 3 sections of 5 each, custom headers and cells being used. These numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are images, and obviously this film reel here is also an image. Click, it takes you to more specific details. You click again, it takes you to a trailer that you can play. It's being fed via the internet. It's hosted just up on my Dropbox for now. But you can play a video. Hey, that's me. Or you can stop the video and you can navigate through the page. So that's the actual functionality of it. There are, all in all, I mean, my code's fine. I mean, it's not the best code I've ever written. It's also not the worst code I've ever written. There are certainly some areas where I still feel like I could have improved. For instance, going right into my main view controller, I kind of sloppily threw together just some arrays to house the data that's being fed into the table views. If I had really taken the time, I would have created some external data sources and hooked up those in order to make the content on the page to make all that populate. That's the biggest thing that I would like to improve upon going forward. Outside of that, everything else, kind of just it functions as expected. I used nibs this time around rather than storyboards that I had been using for a while. For purposes of this, I wanted to be able to focus more on the content on each page rather than making sure that my storyboard had all the correct segues hooked up. So though a storyboard might have been a little less confusing in terms of a high-level bird's-eye visual view, the nibs were more. The nibs made more sense to me in terms of trying to set my code up in such a way that would be meaningful to get something out of this week. But like I said, all in all, I felt like this was a pretty successful week. I'm happy with what I've got, and hopefully y'all agree. Hope everyone had a great month in MDF2, and I will talk to you again real soon.